Hello, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome. I can't be with you live today, but I am bringing you a video to share some adorable cards made with the Earthen Textures bundle. So this bundle in the catalog has a completely different look. It's very organic, and all I did was switch up the designer series paper and made bright, cheerful cards. So it shows a lot of versatility with this really cool bundle, which is part of the Earthen Elegance product suite. I had to think about that for a moment. So let's take a closer look at this. So here is our Earthen Elegance Suite collection here in the catalog. It's on page 70 and 71 in the 2023-2024 annual catalog. And you can see that the Earthen Elegance Designer Series paper is very earthy with brown tones. There's some blues and purples in here. But I wanted to show you a completely different look so that you could see the variation that you can get simply by changing up the colors in your projects. I also want to share with you that I am kicking off a new way to do my monthly classes. Now, if you create with me, you're probably aware that I do my monthly class to goes where I feature a suite or a bundle, and I prepare a kit which you may register for, and you may add on your bundle and your inks, and you purchase the kit, I prepare it, and I send it to you. But last month in May, when the catalog launched, I decided I was going to revamp my class offering. And now instead of reserving a kit, I'm going to offer the projects free when you place an order. And this will give you the freedom to order the products that you would like instead of me kitting something that you may already have. So you may add on the products that we use, or you may choose something else, and you will still be able to enjoy getting the class kits free from me as my thank you. So I am kicking that off this week with my Friday Focus. I'm really excited about this. So you will need the Earthen Textures bundle as well as the inks to complete your projects. And when you place an order of at least $35, you will get the kit, which will look like this. And if you place an order that's at least $50, I'm going to add in this embellishment, which are the Neutrals Adhesive-Backed Sequins, which I use to complete the cards. Now, if your order is less than $50 and you get your card kit, you can use whatever embellishments that you have to decorate up your cards, but you are going to want these sequins because they are beautiful. They come in 3 metallics and then the beautiful frosted white, which you can also color with your Stampin' Blends to make any color you would like. So this is how your kit is going to come. It's going to include 2 each of the 3 projects that we're going to make together, and everything is cut and scored and ready for you other than what you need the Earthen Textures dies for. So any project pieces that include the dies, you will need the dies to have ready for your projects. But let me show you how your class kit will come. So you will continue to get a PDF to complete your projects, but then you will have your 2 card kits for each project. And as you can see, for example, this card here, I have all the pieces. I have your embossing done, die cutting that does not use the Earthen Textures dies. That is done for you. There is not any stamping done. You will need to do all the stamping on your own. I don't do any pre-stamping for you. And then any little bits of ribbon or trim I've put in here, unless I'm offering a ribbon or trim as your gift at that $50 threshold. But this month I am offering the sequins, so your ribbons and trims are in here. And then you will have access to this video to create, or you can use your PDF, whatever you prefer. So let's get started making our projects. So these, I lost a little piece here. These are the projects that we're going to make using this product suite. And you can see there's quite a variation in the style of the projects, and I am using the Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper to create all 6 projects this month. I love this. This is a extra large pack of Designer Series paper in the new catalog. Tons of colors, fun, bright. You can really be creative with this and do so many different things. And I decided to use all of the Designer Series papers from this product collection, paper collection. So the first card we're going to make is this one. I absolutely love this. I love the blues and crumb cake together. That's one of my favorite color combinations. And I really have been enjoying the sentiments in this and the font. I love this font with the partial underlining and then the small accent, I should say coordinated, not accent, but coordinating sentiments that go along with the thank you and the you're proof there's good in the world. So I added that here. So to create project number 1, you will want your project kit that looks like this. And I'm using Very Vanilla on this project. Very Vanilla looks great with the crumb cake and the blue. This is a Misty Moonlight. So Misty Moonlight is a color that used to be in our In Color collection a couple years ago, and now it's one of the colors in our core lineup now that we've done our color revamp. So we're going to put this card together by putting a nice big piece of this Delightfully Eclectic Designer Series paper on our card base. And this is a standard card base. It's 4 1/4 by 11, and I've scored it at 5 1/2, which is just scoring it in half. And then I burnished it really well here with the bone folder. So now you have the front of your card base done. I've also included a piece of Very Vanilla for the inside. So let's put that inside. This is for stamping our sentiment so that you have a nice light surface and a nice piece to finish off the inside of our card here. And then we are going to take a closer look at these cool dies. Now there are open dies that die cut the stamped images in this set. We can take a closer look. So both of these vases have open dies to cut them, as well as these 3 foliage pieces. Then there are some accent pieces. So this I absolutely love, and I'm going to be honest, the whole reason why I got this bundle initially was because I wanted this. And then once I started playing with it and saw how cool it was, I was so glad that I decided to get it. Now we also have this crisscross piece that's a nice accent piece for our vases, as well as this embossing die. And we're going to use this on one of our later projects. All right, so we need a couple of these dies to cut foliage pieces. So let's pull these out. Whoops, there we go. Let's pull this one out. Now you're going to get this cardstock in your card kit, but you will need your dies to actually cut them. So you can choose to add the bundle as part of your purchase to earn it, or I didn't give myself a big enough piece. Or you can choose something else. There we go. So I'm going to run this through my cut and emboss machine. So you know that creating with you on Fridays is one of the highlights of my week. So I'm glad that at least I have some fun creative projects to share with you, even though I can't be with you live today. But please leave me some comments, and I will be checking in throughout the afternoon today to answer any questions that you may have and to chit chat with you. So I'm using my Take Your Pick tool to help release this from the die. I love that. Isn't that fun? This will be a fun die to use at Christmas to create some kind of wintry pieces for your projects. Okay. I was trying to figure out how that die went back on the sheet. So you can do a couple of different things with this. So this has some score lines as well as cut lines. So you can leave it flat, or you can come in and just cut these little connector pieces here. And then you will have some fun with the leaves on this piece. Because now on this pre-scored piece, you can bend these like this and give all kinds of dimension to this piece. Or you can choose to leave it flat. It's your choice. Does anyone know what kind of leaf this is? I don't know what kind of leaf this is. I need to ask my daughter, who's a biologist. But look at how neat and how fun this is to add this to your project. And I left the original one flat, so I'm going to show them both to you side by side when we're done so that you can decide which one you like better. Now, you have this banner piece in your kit, and let me show you how I made that. So I took a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock, and this will be in your kit. It's going to come already embossed for you. In the catalog, our embossing folders are way in the back on page 168 and 169. One of my favorites, the Timber 3D embossing folder. I used that and ran this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and then I trimmed it with my scissors, my paper snips, for a banner end. And when I was done, this is the cool piece that I had. So I'm going to take this and apply it to my card front with some dimensionals, and you can choose which side you like more because they do look a little different from side to side. And I'm going to place this on my card, lining it up on the far right beyond the edge of this Designer Series paper layer that I've placed here. And you can place it wherever you would like, but you do want to leave enough room above so that when you add these cool accent pieces, it's not sticking up off the edge of your card. So now once I've done that, we can add these to our card front, and you can place them wherever you would like. I'm going to put a little bit of Stampin' Seal on the back of this and place this on my card. And then I'm going to add this little foliage piece, kind of like that. And I'm going to add that with a glue dot. This is a really great die to cut with the adhesive sheets. Anything that's has a lot of detail and is kind of dainty like this works really nice to do it with the adhesive sheets. Now, you will receive a piece of linen thread. This is one of my favorite trims. That I use this a lot. I'm going to tie a bow, and I'm going to place it on the stems of this foliage. Now, you will receive a bow in your card kits all ready to go. You won't even have to worry about tying your little bow this time, because oftentimes when I prepare kits, I just tie the bow for you. If you ever join me for my in-person classes, kind of a little running joke that I go around the table tying bows for people because sometimes you just don't want to have to tie it. So I'm going to take this glue dot and fold it in on itself to create a mini glue dot, one that's a little smaller than the full size because I don't want it to stick out past the knot on my linen thread. And I'm going to place that just like that. Isn't that pretty? The linen thread goes so beautifully with crumb cake. I really like that together. So now you will have a little piece of vanilla cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment and tuck that right kind of underneath that bow. So let's pull out our Misty Moonlight ink, and I forgot to grab blocks. Oh, no, I didn't. I have some here. Just kidding. It wouldn't surprise me if I forgot something. I feel like every week I do forget something. So I'm going to use this With Gratitude. So let's pull that out. And it's okay if it's crooked. You can cut it or you can flip it over. It's hard when I'm on camera because I can't get my head over the words to see if it's straight or not. It's tricky. And then on the inside, I'm going to use this awesome thank you. I absolutely love those underlined vowels, and I'm going to stamp inside my card. Now, if you prefer, you can just save this and use it to do a note. If you want, that's okay too. And do a pretty handwritten little note in there. All right, so I'm going to take my little trimmer here, or you can use your scissors, whatever you prefer. I'm just going to cut this down so that it's trimmed closer to the words. And then I'm going to place this on my card, kind of right underneath that bow, like that. So let's put some adhesive on here. And then I'm going to use these, I love these little tweezers. This is from the Embossing Editions kit that's meant for heat embossing, but I use these a lot, and it just allows you to put it exactly where you want it. All right, and then last but not least, these beautiful adhesive-backed sequins. When you place an order of at least $50, I'm going to give you a pack of these as my gift to you. So let's scatter some of these. You will have plenty to use for your projects. I'm just going to scatter some of these around. Now, even though these are kind of like a whitish color, they blend in really nicely with the vanilla. So even though the card is not white, it's still beautiful. And there's your project number 1, and you will get kits to make 2. So here's this die cut piece flat, and here it is using those fold lines. So which one do you like better? Do you like it flat, or do you like the texture that this fold, the score line from the die gives? You have to tell me what you think. All right, so that's project number 1. So now let's move on to project number 2. So project number 2 uses a really sweet floral print from the Designer Series paper collection and this card kit. So here is our super cute project. Isn't that fun? I love these pinks together. And then you have that little pop of gray from our vase that we're going to add. All right, so let's take out all the little pieces. And again, there isn't anything that is pre-stamped here for you. You're going to want your stamp set to do that. So this is a 5.5 by 8.5 thick basic white card base, and I'm going to burnish it well. And then I'm going to use 2 coordinating patterns from my Designer Series paper pack. And this just happens to be the front and back, but you can choose any 2 coordinating prints that you would like. Now I'm going to use Tombow on this because I want to make sure I can slide it into place and get it lined up well. I'm just going to adhere this in place to the lower portion of my card. And then I'm going to add this right on top. And I'm not going to center it. It's going to be kind of off center towards the bottom of this strip. And then if anything hangs over the side, you can flip it over. If there's anything hanging over the side, you can just very carefully cut it. This is the fold of your card, so you want to be careful that you don't cut the fold of your card. But now you have the basis for the front of your project. So now you have a piece of basic gray and basic white cardstock, and we're going to stamp on these. So you will want to pull out some ink. So I have 3 colors. I have Mossy Meadow for my foliage and Smoky Slate to stamp my vase. And then I also have a coordinating ink color for my Designer Series paper. I'm using Berry Burst. Now the centers of these flowers are actually Cajun Craze, but I like how the Berry Burst works with it, and it almost looks like it matches perfectly. So that's what I'm going to use. So let's first stamp our vase. So we have the Smoky Slate ink. Now don't forget, this has a lot of texture. So remember how I've showed you to kind of move that ink out of the way. I treated myself to brand new ink pads when the catalog launched, and I've been loving having nice brand new ink pads, but they're nice and juicy. So I just wanted to move some of that ink out of the way because you get a much, much nicer image from that. You see how nice your image it turns out? Now, if you wanted to use basic gray ink, you could do that as well. You're going to have a much darker vase image, and that is okay if that's what you would like. So now I'm also going to stamp my 2 foliage pieces here, and I'm going to stamp them both in Mossy Meadow. Mossy Meadow matches the green in the paper. So I'm just going to ink these up and stamp them on my paper. And then I'm going to die cut them. So there's coordinating open dies in our die set. So let's pull our dies in here. So we have these really great dies that are going to cut these out perfectly. I'm going to run these through. I think I'm going to do one at a time here. I love how by changing up the color, you can have a completely different look to your projects. So maybe what I'll have to do is someday recreate these projects using the Earthen Elegance Designer Series paper, and then we can compare the 2. All right, so there's my first foliage piece, and now let's do the other one. I like to use this of Post-it tape to hold my dies in place. So when I'm running it through my die cutting machine, if it shifts it, I still get a nice image. Okay, so here's my foliage pieces. And then I'm also going to want to cut out my vase. So let's do that as well. So let's pull out that die. Now these dies are cool because the die actually is a little smaller than the stamped image. And I like that because you don't have any border. Whoops, I shifted it. See how this just fits on there? So when it die cuts it, a lot of times you have a border. Like, see how the foliage, you get a little border around your stamped image? This one is not going to have that. This one is going to extend right to the edge of the die cut. So let me show that to you. See how that stamped image completely covers that. All right, so let's bring our card back in. I'm going to adhere my vase somewhere kind of like that. And I'm going to tuck these underneath. So right now I'm just trying to get my layout down because I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I want to do that before I adhere these down in place. And I like the thank you, so let's pull that out, but you could use any of your sentiments that are in your set for this. So let's ink this up, and I can kind of see where I want this to be. And now that I have that stamped, I can adhere these other pieces in place. So I'm going to start by putting this in place, and I want this with dimensional to pop it up, but I'm going to put my dimensionals at the bottom so that I have room to tuck these underneath. So see how those stems are going to go underneath? If I put my dimensionals way up here, I just wouldn't, it would be in the way while I tried to slide it into place. Now when it's done, I will kind of tuck one under there to hold everything in place. But to get started, I just want to put my vase down. And then I'll kind of get the placement of my foliage. I just tore that stem a little bit so that it was short. Yep, and I think I like that. So let's put a little bit of Stampin' Seal on this one. And I want it off to the side a little bit, and then I'm going to do a dimensional on the back of this one. And then I'll kind of tuck that in angled the other direction. There's our foliage. Now let's dress this up. So I brought in some gold thread. I keep this on a spool. This is cord. It comes gold and silver. So you will get some in your project kits. I'm going to wrap it around twice. I should show you that in the catalog. So I use the gold and silver cord a lot. So I'll show you where this is in the catalog. So I'm just tying this into a little bow. If you'd rather have it in a knot, you can. But once I get that how I like it, I'm going to come in with another dimensional. And I'm just going to kind of tuck that underneath like that. All right. And then last but not least, let's use some of these beautiful, I'm just going to kind of sprinkle these all over. There's no right or wrong. You can use big ones, you can use little ones. And I like odd numbers, so we will use a few big, a few little, kind of tuck those on our plant like that. And here are 2 more of your cards. Now on this one, I used our new Moody Mauve, and on this one, I used Berry Burst. And I think I like the brighter Berry Burst, but if you have either one of these, you can make your projects. So what do you think? You like that? It's really pretty paper. All right, so for your last project, I wanted to show you that you could really be fun and colorful with this bundle, even though it looks so organic in the catalog. Look at when you change up the colors. Isn't that cool? I love how the bright, bold colors just pop off the black background. So let me show you how I made this. So I pulled in another die set to complete this card, and that does come die cut for you. So that is called the Wanted to Say die set. And you get Celebrate, Feel Better, Happy Birthday, and You're Too Kind. And you have dies that cut out the words, and then you also have dies that cut out backgrounds, as well as some accent pieces. So let's look at those. So here is the project kit with all the pieces that you need to make this project. So this uses, again, a standard card base of basic black that's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to make this a top fold card, okay? Then we have a second layer that I have embossed with this kind of hash mark embossing folder. So this is part of our online exclusives, meaning it's not in the catalog. It comes as a set of 3 with polka dots, the hash marks, and then there's a third pattern that's kind of like stars. I love these. I use them a ton. You've seen me use them a ton. They are an awesome staple because I love the subtle texture that it adds to your project. So I'm going to add some Stampin' Seal and just a really light touch is all you need with your Stampin' Seal. And then I'll get this lined up here on my card base. And the just nice texture. I really like that. Now, you have a strip of this fun black and white print that is from the Eclectic Designs Designer Series paper. And I'm going to place this on my card, kind of down here, but with some dimensionals. So let's do that. Let's add that to our card. Okay, and there's a gap here, but that's okay because we're going to fill our gap with all those fun vases. Now look at these die cuts. Isn't that fun? Look at the decorative edge that the die puts on there. You can see the decorative edge, and then you have these words. Now, I should have cut these with my adhesive sheets again. But these really aren't bad to put on. You can add some Tombow and then they layer right in there like that. So let's do that. So I'm going to take my Tombow, or if you have adhesive sheets, you can use your adhesive sheets. And these are extra handy for doing things like this. I'm just going to add a little. You don't have to cover the entire word. You just need to kind of tack it down in a few points. So I did what, maybe 4 here. And then I'm just going to lay this down. And the same with this one. There we go. There. Isn't that fun? I love this. And we're going to add that to our card, but I'm going to set it aside for now. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping and creating a variety of vases using our dies and our stamps. So in your kit, you have a piece of basic white that's going to be for the inside of your card. So you have a place to stamp and write. So let's get that inside. Okay, we'll pull out these. Now we're going to stamp on these two. So let's look at our ink colors. And here is, I should show you, here's a closer look at the dies. This is a really nice die set with lots of detail on the accent pieces. And look at, it's 2 full sheets of dies. They're really cool. And these again are called Wanted to Say dies. They don't coordinate with a stamp set. They're kind of standalone. All right, so I'm using Melon Mambo and Lemon Lime Twist to do some monochromatic stamping. So I'm going to use this nice big vase, and you can see that I've already moved my ink, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'm just going to stamp this on my cardstock. And then I'm going to use the smaller vase here with that cool design on it, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to stamp it monochromatic on my cardstock. There we go. Now I'm going to cut these out with the coordinating open dies. So we will want that one, and we will want this one. So I'm going to run this through. Let me turn this right side up. So you could fussy cut this and it'll be a little bigger, or you could stamp it and not die cut it. I'm going to die cut it, and it will make it a little smaller. Okay. And now let's do this bigger one. Turn that right side up. Okay, so I'm using my little boho blue mini cut and emboss machine. So this is available for purchase. So if you joined my team during celebration, you were able to get that with your kit. But if you missed out on that, you can actually purchase it now. And now is actually a phenomenal time to join my team, because between now and the end of June, Stampin' Up! Is offering a bonus when you get a starter kit. So normally you get to pick any $125 worth of product in your starter kit, and it is $99, and Stampin' Up! Pays the shipping for you. So now I'm just going to die cut these two dies. But until the end of the month, you actually get to pick $155 of anything you want from the catalog. So you could get your little mini die cutting machine if you wanted this cute blue one, or anything else you wanted from the catalog. We also have a demonstrator pre-order going right now, which is very fun. You can add those pre-order products that aren't even available to customers yet to your starter kit and start using them now. Then Stampin' Up! Also throws in a paper pumpkin kit, which is $24. So really you're getting like almost what, $180 worth of products for only $99. $99, that's it. So now I'm going to use this really neat detail die, and I'm going to add an imprint to this vase. So watch how cool this is. Then you get to enjoy all the perks of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want. No one's going to make you do videos or classes, although if you would enjoy doing that, I'm here to certainly help you do those things. But you do get to enjoy discounted shopping any single day. Now, look at the detail in that. Isn't that so fun? Now, I'm going to adhere this cool top with the little handles to my vase. So I'm just going to put a little tombow there and then add this to the top, and it creates a completely different little vase. Isn't that fun? Now you could change up the colors, but I'm kind of sticking with the little monochromatic look here. So let's bring this in. So when you're an Inky finger, that's what my stamping community team is called. They're my Inky fingers. When you're an Inky finger, we have a lot of fun together. I offer video tutorials for my team. We have monthly get-togethers where we always stamp. Every month we create something together. I post tutorials in my private team Facebook group for you that you can use to create, or if you did want to host an event of your own, you would have those to use. And then there's all the other perks from Stampin' Up! Of being a demonstrator. So it really is a fun, I put these on the wrong, I wanted them on these. It really is a fun thing. So if you haven't considered getting a starter kit, now might be a really good time, and there's nothing to lose. So you can shop as much as you want. And if you ever decide you don't want to shop with your discount anymore, all you have to do is just let me know, and you just become a customer again. So it's really a win-win. You have nothing to lose by getting that starter kit and enjoying that discount and that great extra bonus product right now. All right, so I just cut the tiniest little scrap of designer series paper that I'm going to put on the top of this vase just to kind of bring that black color through a little bit. So now that I've layered up all of these little pots here, I'm going to put that on my vase, and I'll just slide it kind of where it fits. You can cut it however long or short you want it. There we go. And then I've included a piece of white twine so that you can tie a bow. So I will put the link with more information for joining my team in the description of this video, as well as the link to shop, because I know you're going to want these card kits. So again, to earn these free, all you have to do is go to my online store, place an order of at least $35, but you have to use the host code that I have listed so that I know you want the kits, unless your order is over $150, because then you qualify for free product from Stampin' Up, and I want to make sure you get that free product. And when I see that come through, I'll just know to automatically send the kits for you. But if your order is less than $150, make sure you use that host code that I will have listed here so that I know you want the kits. If you don't want the kits, don't use the host code. You don't have to use the host code, okay? So with an order of at least $35, you'll get your kits. And when it's $50, I'll make sure that you get these beautiful adhesive-backed sequins that we're adding to our projects so that you too can decorate up your cards. All right, so now it's time to add this sentiment, and I'm going to put that on with dimensionals. So I'm going to use my mini dimensionals here. All right. And you can place that anywhere you want. And then last but not least, let's bring these in. Now these would be really fun. You could color these. I am going to leave them white, and I'm going to create a row of sparkle across this beautiful blue. This is azure blue. It's one of the new blues that was added to our color line with the Color Refresh. I've been enjoying using it. So I'm just going to put a row of these across here. And there's the card. Now, if you want to stamp on the inside, you can. Isn't that cute? What do you think? Tell me what you think. Which one is your favorite? Do you have a favorite card? You'll have to tell me which one is your favorite. All right, so here's your host code. So if you would like these kits, just go to my online store and make sure you enter that host code when you check out. And I'll be sure to send you your kits to make all 6 of these projects. And if you want, you can add your Earthen Textures bundle to your order so that you have it to create, or you can use something that you have on hand. And when it's, if your order is $50, you'll also get a pack of these beautiful adhesive-backed sequins. So if you have any questions, please make sure to leave a comment in the by this video. And if you're watching me on YouTube, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel so that whenever I post a video, you'll be sure to see it. So thanks everyone. I hope you have a great week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.